I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, shit.
Our masters!
What do these things want, and why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around.
Oh, you dirty motherfucker!
Brother, life's a bitch. She's back in heat.
Control us!
You're sending some kind of signals out of TV sets.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale.
Now we start spilling some blood.
Let's go!
Push a button.
Excuse me.
Just survive.
You know, you look like your head fell on the cheese dip back in 1957. You're okay. This one, real fucking ugly. Oh. You see, I take these glasses off, she looks like a regular person, doesn't she, huh? Put them back on, formaldehyde face. That's what we got.
That's enough out of you. You get out or I call the cops.
Call the cops? You know what you need? You need a Brazilian plastic surgeon.
That part sounds so ferocious whenever he says that. I was blinded by it.
I was blinded by it.
Wrong Sean Connery.
I know, right? That's all I do is my Sean Connery and then cover my mouth. And it's all of a sudden...
that's what I do, too.
Bane.
I'm also Bane from movies, not from the comic books or anything else, because he's Spanish. But whatever.
Welcome to the Drop Culture Podcast. This is the podcast that picks up the piece of pop culture that you forgot about or missed, shines it up real nice, and then crams it in your ear holes. I'm Brock, and in the studio with me, I have...
Dan?
And Mitchell.
Cool. So this week's topic is a classic movie that I think is more relevant today than it ever was even back then.
Absolutely.
Even though it was a play on the time period, but it's a bigger play on the time period now.
Yeah, and it's based off a short story.
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning.
From 1963.
Yes.
So, and then this movie wasn't made until 1988.
1988.
So, and now it's 2020.
Well, they had a
it's
comic
still relevant.
Interesting.
Very relevant, too.
Yes.
So, if you haven't already guessed what this movie is, it's They Live. John Carpenter. We're back to John Carpenter. It's been a while. It's been a while since we revisit a little bit of John Carpenter.
I think we were very saturated with John Carpenter for a while, so it was good to take a little break.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
Okay, well, that may have been a little long, but still.
Yeah, no. It's great.
It's fine.
Eventually, we'll hit all of John Carpenter's movies just because.
Of course we will.
I think he is one of the quintessential directors of the 80s.
Yes.
And of all time, too.
Yes.
So... They Live, again, is a 100% call to what's going on out there in the world right now.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, the rich, powerful elite pretty much own everything. Dan's over there doing his Axl Rose.
Georgia.
He's looking for some...
Georgia.
No,
Sweet child of mine.
I was actually doing my Stevie Wonder. I just didn't have my sunglasses on. No April rain. No flowers bloom. No wedding Saturday within the month of June. That's all I got. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the soundtrack.
Is it really?
No.
Oh, I was like, what?
I just called to say I love you was not on this soundtrack. And had nothing to do with this podcast.
Nothing at all.
I was bamboozled.
Bamboozled.
Well, first impressions. Dan.
I never saw it before.
Okay, there
Well,
you
let's
go.
start with Mitch. Mitch, first impressions before we get into the meat of the movie.
The meat. Pretty much, I watched the trailer, and that actually made me really excited to watch this movie. And then when I started watching it, I was surprised with how long it went before he got the sunglasses and all that other stuff.
Yep.
But overall, it started a little weird and then started developing and actually growing. And the main character is definitely an interesting dude.
Yeah, I love his Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's
love
sorry.
it. Yeah, sorry.
And I can agree with that. Obviously, I've seen this movie multiple times before.
In the end, I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, you know,
What I didn't remember is how well Roddy Piper delivered his lines.
Oh my God, dude. So many cheesy lines.
Oh, man.
It's not even that
Yeah.
they're cheesy lines. It's just the delivery of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And you're like, okay. You're a wrestler. It's all right. You're not
can
an
take it.
actor. It's
this was
okay.
this not his first movie.
Oh, no.
Not his first movie by far.
Was this before or after Hell Comes to Frogtown?
It was before.
Okay.
So Hell Comes to Frogtown was a little bit afterwards.
Okay.
And he's in that?
Yeah.
He is the
Okay.
main
Yeah.
protagonist.
And Piper, you know, growing up with the WWF or whatever they call it now.
It was the WWF back
Yeah,
then before
yeah.
they got sued by the World Wildlife Foundation, I think.
Whatever. Yeah.
They were that for like 20 or 30 years,
Yeah, I
and then
know,
they were
I know.
like, that's ours, bitch.
I want a
WWF.
panda. Yeah.
Give us that.
Our logo is a panda, not a wrestler.
Panda.
But yeah.
I don't know, man. I think you could probably make more money if you had like a picture of Hulk Hogan. Help us save this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wrestling a panda.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't fight the enemy. Work with
Pete is
them.
going to be happy.
It's like it's like the baseball logo or the NBA logo, but it's just a wrestler about to attack a panda eating like some fucking eucalyptus or some shit.
That panda would fuck him up, dude. Pandas are super aggressive.
Yeah, but they're super dumb too.
They already did that advertisement. It was just for butter, though. Made no sense.
Yes.
It was just confusing.
This movie, when it came out, was just, I don't know. I remember watching it, just always falling in love with it, even back then. I loved it, man.
Yeah, it was a good
just-
movie all the way around. I enjoyed it, obviously, as a youth, and now it's good.
It holds up, I think, above a lot of other movies that came out at the time. It doesn't look dated. You know, it still looks kind of progressive, a little bit. I mean, yeah, it is the 80s.
It's definitely the 80s.
Yeah,
You
the
just have to
late
remember
80s,
that.
Yeah. It's the late 80s. So it
Ladies.
was the end of...
It's the late 80s.
Yeah, like the commercials in it and all of the stuff on the TV, the outfits.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
Buck Flowers. There was a lot of really, really good stuff in this movie. Always on the top of my list of one of the movies that, you know, you could literally watch over and over again, I think, you know, more than anything. I really, the actual premise of the story, I guess in 8 o'clock in the morning, kind of starts off with the dude's like hypnotized.
Right.
But he wakes up because for a preface of what the actual movie and where it came from. Yeah, he did that in 63, right? 8 o'clock in the morning, and the guy wakes up from being hypnotized, and he decides, or he has until 8 o'clock in the morning to figure out what the deal is, or stop whatever's happening.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, it's just a strange 100% tale of something weird. You know what I mean?
A tale of weird.
But
and wasn't it in like something like that though, like a science fiction magazine or
yeah, I
something
think so.
like that?
Yeah. Well, then they came back and they actually did do a comic of it in the 80s, like 83 or something like that.
Right.
And so that kind of brought it back out into the forefront on a lot of stuff, and people paid attention to it, especially John Carpenter, because John Carpenter really did. I don't know. He took a lot of elements from it, and him and like 2 other people really kind of got together with the script, and he credits Frank Armitage for the actual screenwriter for it, even though it was him and Piper.
Well, for that,
and
yeah,
somebody else.
Frank Armitage is a like pseudonym for the 3 of them, but also Armitage is from H.P. Lovecraft. He's a major character in an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Yeah,
Which makes sense. I mean, it's John Carpenter.
It wasn't Hobbs End because that was from John Carpenter's movie, you know, In the Mouth of Madness. But it was something like that. It was about something.
I don't remember
in
which
there.
story that's from.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a major character.
Yeah. And then also Frank Armitage is a character in the movie too. That's
absolutely.
Keith David's character, which is really cool. I like how he took the right elements from everything in the book, and then added his own social commentary for it,
Right.
and then showed the grittiness. And from what I had, all the interviews that I watched and everything like that, that somehow he told Roddy Piper to go ahead and come up with a backstory, but don't tell him about it, because he wanted to leave it ambiguous that way. So,
and he never did.
And he never did.
said anything before he died. Nobody knows what the backstory was for this character, which is really cool.
Well, which is really cool, because I think Piper threw a lot of his own stories into it too.
Right.
But then also the wife part of it was like, there was something like what was something acceleration, to where it was like she was somehow killed by this unplanned acceleration in a car or something like that.
Okay.
I think that was what I read. There's a little bit. He didn't even really have a name. It was Nada.
Well, that was from the book too,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
from the short story, I should say, rather.
But
obviously, Nada meaning nothing.
Yeah, and
he's
subsequently,
just an everyman.
Yeah.
John Nada.
Yeah, subsequently is John Nada. That's how he's really referred to him in years in interviews and stuff.
His name is never said in the movie at all.
No, not at all. That's why they list him as Nada at the end credits too. I mean, yeah,
Right.
most of the characters in this, are pretty awesome. Like Ray Nelson was the writer of 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And of course, Carpenter wrote the screenplay for this. He was pretty much everything to it.
Yeah.
It was produced by Larry Franco, which he produced like The Thing, Mars Attacks, Escape from New York.
Yeah, he did a lot of movies.
The Rocketeer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Christine, Big Trouble in Little China. So he's a producer on most of John Carpenter's big cult classics.
He's also the dad of Matt Franco, who used to play for the Atlanta Braves.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
know that.
I didn't know that either. That's cool.
Yeah, see? Research.
Yeah. The cinematography was done by Gary B. Kibbe. He did Vampires in the Mouth of Madness, Prince of Darkness, Ghosts of Mars. Again, Carpenter likes to work with the same crew throughout all the years, which is really cool. What I really do, I like the cinematography in this movie, because it is, and I'm not going to use the same phrase, subtle or anything like that, but it's very well planned out to show just the main characters.
Right.
More than anything, and then, get insular in their worlds before it actually shows the outside world, which is really cool too.
Well, and I think that's something that Carpenter does well too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's part of his direction.
Yeah, is getting more into the character part of it, which is really cool, because after The Thing,
Right.
Shit, even the shape from Halloween was a total insular kind of like a look for it.
Exactly.
Everything was just 100% looking at him. It was edited by Gib Jaffe. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Which he did. He edited on Rambo, Rapid Fire.
Which one's that one?
Rapid Fire has what's his name? Brandon Lee. Yeah.
Was it a spinoff?
No, those are two separate things.
Yeah, two separate movies.
Oh,
I see where you went there, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rambo, Rapid Fire.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that one.
Rambo, Rapid Fire, Rambo 12.
The Lost Years.
Yeah, and that's
Which
where
time
he's
it's
like
personal.
He's just taking like heart medication and shit. Rapid Fire, and he's finally getting to play the Atari for the first time.
Well, you guys always mention stuff, and I'm like, what? That exists?
Yeah. And then another editor was Frank E. Jimenez, which he edited Mannequin and The Last Starfighter.
Really?
Last Starfighter is another one of those that's kind of just out of left field, but it was a cool movie. Art direction on this I think is very, very important to this movie, the art direction. William J. Durrell Jr., he was the art director on Die Hard, Roadhouse, Rocky V, which... yeah.
Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe the movie
Street
sucked, but
fighting.
it looked great.
Well, yeah, these art people.
Touch
in
me
this
and I'll
movie-
sue.
Yeah,
Touch me and I'll sue. Sorry.
Only in America. Then it was Daniel A. Lamino. He did Close Encounters of the Third Kind on the art. Child's Play, Christine, Starman. So it was another kind of a working with him. So, I like how he does keep the same people. And you got to know that being on the set of a John Carpenter movie has got to be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
You're working with John Carpenter.
Unless you're on the set of The Thing.
Yeah.
Because everybody hated that.
Yeah. It was cold,
Oh, they really went out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were out there.
Yeah,
and
they
then-
almost died on their way out there.
Yeah. Which,
Which you can
again,
listen to at one of our other episodes.
on one of our other
Check out our
episodes.
archives.
Yeah, we got a lot of John Carpenter movies in there because we love him.
Yes.
Friend of the show.